we need to do to get in great shape is, for starts, we need to get active. Do not oversleep. Do not sleep on this one component that can be a game changer. We need to get active. And if you want to accelerate this process, you need to get active 7 days a week. There's no exception. This is not for people who are trying to light foot into a program. These are for people who are trying to get in great shape. This next 30 days, we are not going to take this time for granted. We're going to utilize this time to get in the best shape we can possibly get in. And how are we going to do this? We're going to do this from little things like staying active 7 days a week. You might ask me, how are we going to stay active? First thing we're going to do is we're going to get at least 8,000 steps in. 8,000 steps. That's every day. Every day, you're going to walk at least 8,000 steps. This is easy money if you focus on making activity a priority. We're going to do 8,000 steps. So little things where we may notice that we're sitting down more, what we want to do, we might want to park a little bit further. If it's a point that we stop to go ahead and get some food, what we going to do? We're going to park in the back. We're going to walk in. We're not even going through the drive-through. You have to make some of these things a little bit more challenging in order to get more activity. And I need you to get active. Our objective within this next 30 days is to have tighter abs. That's one. And build a little bit of muscle and maintain the muscle we already have. We're going to execute a fair amount of cardio and resistance training. Your resistance training can be at home. Your resistance training can be at the gym. Your resistance training can be at your apartment complex. Your resistance training can be in a cubicle or your office. It can be in your break room. However you want to break it down. You need to start off small, work your way out. If you somebody that hasn't been doing your check-ins, we're going to start off with 30 minutes. If you somebody that's ready to really put in the work and really want to get great results, we're going to jump all in and do the hour. If by some chance you noticing that you only have 4,000 steps and it's getting to the end of the day, what does that mean? Even if we worked out earlier, we need to find a way to get some steps in. Maybe we need to walk around the neighborhood while we take our business meetings. Maybe it's a situation that we need to schedule going back to the gym a little bit later that night and get at least an hour cardio in. My biggest thing is we need to make the activity a priority and make it mandatory. Sometimes we got to look at this shit as if it's life or death. I'm going to be real with y'all. If you really want to get great results, it's all about the discipline and the energy that you carry towards getting it. But these are things that we need to do to stay active throughout the course of this entire 30 days. Like I said, we can use 30 days as a tool to guide us, to motivate us, and inspire us to put in more work to get closer to building the body that we want. Rome was not built overnight. Some of y'all might look on the line like, D, you're in great shape. You're in great shape. You're in great shape. For me, I still want to improve upon what I already have. So that goes to show you that results can be very temporary. But my biggest thing is I'm trying to get results for a lifetime. I'm trying to look good for a lifetime. Remember, if you have questions about anything that we going over, do me a favor, drop your questions. And, go ahead and run up that like button. You feel me? Run it up. Come on, stop playing. Share this with a friend who's trying to get in great shape. My biggest thing is the more you understand this information, the easier it is for you to get what you want. And we can break everything off to very digestible sizes. Don't forget that. Digestible sizes. So it's like, you know what? You ain't overdoing it and you can be consistent with it, because consistency is what we trying to trump. I want you to be consistent. And do understand, if you're paying attention, you're getting the game for free. If you learning, do me a favor, type a 7 in the comments. If you learning right now, do me a favor, type a 7 in the comments right now. And also, like I said, drop your questions below. But when it comes down to activity, 7 days a week, 8,000 steps. We're going to do at least 3 days of weights. Weights can be any type of resistance training, resistance bands. It can be body weight push-ups. It can be pull-ups. We just need to make sure we're implementing 3 days of weights. And like I said, when I say weights, that could be resistance bands. That can be body weights. That can be dumbbells. That can be kettlebells. That can be barbells. That can be cables. Whatever your source is for when it comes down to hitting those weights, just know 3 days out of the week, we need to be doing weights. 2 days out of the week, we need to be doing cardio. Cardio is going to be very important. And I'm not talking about just doing some little, I'm talking about very challenging, very intense cardio. You can do the heavy bag for first half. Then you can finish off with the bike going distance. Second half of your cardio. Cardio needs to be a minimum of an hour. If you want to take it to the next level, to me, I think cardio should really be like an hour and 30 minutes if you want to see great results. Because remember, we're only doing cardio 2 days out of the week. And when you get that second wind to kick in, do understand we can actually get more under the weights. A lot of people don't talk about how breathing at the end of the day can actually point you in all the right directions. People miss that a lot. If you get better on your breathing and work more to improve your cardiovascular activity, cardiovascular endurance, do understand you'll be able to get a lot more than what you think from just doing cardio. So do understand that the right amount of cardio is going to help you make the weights and hit the weights a lot easier. I'm just going to be real with you. I've been there, done that. That's why I like the zone I'm in right now. I'm real lean right now. And I'm loving me being lean because the beautiful thing is I'm light and loose. We loose as a goose. You get what I'm saying? So do understand there's going to be a lot of pros to you doing cardio. Mainly when it comes down to the weights, mainly for my weight lovers. Because a lot of people that generally love hitting weights hate doing cardio. And a lot of people that love doing cardio generally hate doing weights. But it's all about the perfect balance. I've been on both sides, and I'm telling you right now, it's an amazing feel. It's an amazing feel. I appreciate that, big dog. Appreciate it. It says, you're awesome. Appreciate that. So remember, we're doing 5 days a week training. Like I said, we need to be active, not working out, but we need to be active 7 days a week. That's a non-negotiable. We need to be taking 8,000 steps a day. We need to be doing at least 3 days of weights. We need to be doing at least 2 days of cardio. And guess what we need to be doing on those other 2 days that we're not hitting the gym? Those other 2 days, we need to be focused on stretching. At least minimum for these. This is mainly for my people that so-called hate stretching, forget the stretch. You need to understand, you need to deload the body of all that resistance you've been applying to it from the weights in your day-to-day lifestyle. Remember, we still got to live. We ain't trying to be in the gym 8 hours a day. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about being in the gym an hour in, an hour out, an hour in, an hour out. And on the days that we're not going to the gym, we tightening up on our activity. We're not just lounging around. We're not just sitting on the couch. You get where I'm going? We're doing things that's going to keep us active to make sure that we hit this target within the next 30 days. I want you to get in great shape within the next 30 days. We're not playing around. Like I said, October, it's my birthday month. My birthday is in 6 days, October 7th. And I'm telling you right now, I'm trying to tighten up even more to look the best I ever look. I'm turning 35, so I do want you to understand, I'm not a young pup training no more. I'm not in my 20s training no more. You get what I'm saying? We starting to get the grown man age, and I'm telling you right now, the way I've been moving, despite the 2 car accidents I had that took me out within these past 2 years, do understand I'm feeling better than ever because I'm making sure I'm doing my body's proper maintenance. And that's what I want to teach you. We're going to elevate all of this within the next 30 days. Remember, we starting off with the activity. So this is the activity aspect. Don't forget that. Now, what else are we going to do within this next 30 days? Number 2 is going to be tighten up on foods. I don't want to hear nothing about macros, micro. I don't want to hear none of that shit right now. We don't need to focus on none of that right now. And I'm going to tell you why we don't want to focus on that right now. Because why you still worried about those numbers, you know what you sleeping on? You still not focused on consuming real food. You talking to a gardener right now. Every bodybuilder that I see be buying a processed chicken. A lot of them don't really want to spend the extra money to fuel their body the right way. If we drive a Ferrari, what we gonna do? We gonna put premium gas in our vehicle, correct? And that's what we're gonna do within this next 30 days. And you're gonna see how so much of your body changes. If you have access to start a garden, you know I'm a gardener and I'm trying to transition into being a farmer. You know I'm a gardener, so do understand one thing. I need you to focus on eating real food. Very important. That's why it's going to be best for you to do what? You're going to have to cook in the house. I know, oh, I ain't got time, coach, and I don't want to hear none of that. Make time. The more you sacrifice on eating real food, the better your body's going to feel, and we can easily get in some decent shape within the next 30 days. I want us to get great results fast. You're talking to a personal trainer. You're talking to someone that's been doing this for a while. Since 2010, we've been dialing in. We've been changing lives. You might see me mowing lawns and all this other stuff, but do understand, we still training. Training is still happening. We still making top tier dollar from helping people get in the best shape of their lives. I just don't like to show testimonies. If you want to share what we doing, then you share what we doing. But I feel as though my body is the best testimony you're going to get at the end of the day. I'm showing you what I do and how I do it. From the cold pressed juices to the being a gardener for 2 years. We don't take no protein, no creatine, no none of that. And watch, when I go into my bulking phase, let's see who look better. Is it going to be the people? Is it going to be the people that's taking all of these supplements? Is it going to be me who's actually mastered the basics and doing it the right way? I just want to teach you how to do it the right way. Everybody wants to get this overnight, but I try to get them to understand, if you're trying to get in your best shape of your life, 30 days, we gonna get in some good shape. 60 days, guess what? We're gonna look even better. But guess what we're gonna look like in a year? In 1 year, we're gonna be looking top tier because we understand the ins and outs of our body. We understand we're not defeated. We ain't gotta do all of this counting calories and doing, we don't gotta do all of that. You feel me? Because guess what we starting with? Consuming real food. Come on now. If you understand for you to get it this way, it's a process. It's a night and day difference. If you understand how your body responds to it after you consume it, that's a night and day difference. If you understand how to challenge your body and know when to turn it up and then know when to scale back, that's a different experience. And guess what's going to happen? Your physique is going to look better and better and better because you're paying attention to a lot of the basics instead of just keep paying attention to this fluff. All of these are just trigger words that they're using in certain industries. But if you focus on mastering the basics of what I'm giving you, you eat right, you drink water, you get what I'm saying? You exercise, you get out in the sun, you get some fresh air, you get where I'm going? Some of the basics, you understand good form and technique when executing each and every exercise. When it comes down to it, guess what? You're using good form and technique to properly load the resistance on the area that you want to develop. And you want to develop the entire body. You don't want to focus on spot training or just focusing on this area, that area. Remember, drop your questions if you have questions about anything we going over. Remember, I'm giving you a lot of information right now, but I want to give you the basics so you can understand what to do and how to do it. I don't want to get you too confused. The basics are going to help you get, like I said, we dialing in on this within 30 days. Do understand, if you fail within the first 30 days, we know what to tighten up on. Are you not being serious? Is this not a priority? You get where I'm going? What are some of the things you noted the reason why you start eating bad foods? You may not notice that you only eating what you eating because you wait until it's time that you're hungry to get something. We got to understand some of these basics, but I want you to understand within this next 30 days, we're going to accelerate this process. Third thing we need to focus on is going to be recovery. We tightening up on our recovery. Recovery is key, y'all. Recovery is key. You can only beat down the body for so long and think it's going to rebuild and repair itself. Remember, sleep is a part of recovery. Remember the massage gun, the foam rollers. All of these things are forms of recovery. This is not by all means going to alleviate all the pain, going to alleviate all the tension. Sometimes you might need to get the area a little bit stronger. But do understand you might need this in the process to make sure you do what you're doing. What? Deloading the body to reduce the chance of getting injured and also to accelerate the process of you getting great results. With you eating right, recovery is going to excel on the results that we're looking to see, mainly if you training the right way. Remember, training is breaking the body down. We're destroying the body. We beating it down. What we want the body to properly do once we destroy it and beat it to pieces, we want to make sure we maximize the recovery. If you skip recovery and you start turning up, why you think you keep getting these aggravating ass injuries? Oh, I tweaked my ankle again. You ain't just randomly tweaking your ankle. You're doing it because your recovery is trash. You might not be eating good, and you might not be recovering well. You might not be taking the days needed off. People love to get into this, I'm going to work out every day. If you're going to work out every day, do understand at some point in your program, you may need to be making recovery a primary target, a primary focus. You feel me? The more we focus on recovery, the easier it is for us really to get in great shape, mainly with the right eating. Another reason why I say with eating, if you keep it basic from the start and make sure we're not eating a lot of processed foods when it comes down, mainly with our proteins. Proteins are definitely heavily processed depending on where you're getting these proteins from. Read the label. Understand where this stuff is coming from. How was it fed? And in some of it, be honest with you, if it's in the freezer aisle, it's a pack of BS anyway. For the most part, majority of the brands in the freezer aisle, I'm telling you right now, are generally processed. Just be careful with the freezer aisle. If you can, try to get it as fresh as you can. Try to get it as fresh as you can at the end of the day. That's going to mitigate a lot of the process aspect, because remember, process is journey to increase shelf life. The longer the shelf life, the more process. Don't forget that. Why you think some of your favorite cereals and all this other stuff, the drink lasts a year easy? It's because it's heavily processed. It's chemicals in these things. That's when they're giving you the artificial flavor. And some of it's to make it taste better too. Because they know at the end of the day, if it tastes like the regular thing, which you ain't eating right now, you ain't going to really, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going to eat it. You ain't going to spend money on it. But I do need us to understand, this is very important of why you need to be consistent with nutrition. You need to be consistent with your system, with your nutrition, so that your system can get acclimated to this new thing. You don't realize you've been putting terrible gas in your vehicle just because you put a little bit of gas in it this one time does not necessarily mean that it's going to make a huge difference. But if you properly fuel the body consistently, you will start to see a huge difference from your recovery to your sharpness, where mental focus, your overall physical energy. Like, all of these things are going to play a huge role in recovery. The more we tighten up on recovery and understand things we should and can be doing to accelerate our recovery, we're going to move in all the right directions. And like I said before, you need to make recovery a primary, mainly when we're someone who wants to start throwing our bodies in a lot of vigorous workouts in a small amount of time. This is going to reduce the chance of you getting injured. Remember, nutrition is a part of recovery. So we need to tap in. Remember, drop your questions. If you have questions about anything that I'm giving you, drop your questions, because I know I'm giving a lot of information at one sitting. I feel it. I get it. I want to make sure you're taking in a lot of this information too. And I do want you to understand, remember, within everything that I'm telling you, we're going to start knocking this out within the next 30 days. This next 30 days is going to be a game changer. We're going to get closer and closer to our what? Our six-pack. Everybody has a six-pack. This is your six-pack. The only thing that's stopping you from seeing your six-pack is the body fat percentage. Once we start getting this body fat percentage down, then guess what? You'll start looking lean and you'll start being green. And what I mean by green is you in healthy standings. The objective of working out too is for your health. We're not going to sugarcoat this. If you want to get healthy, we need to make sure we're dropping the body fat percentage. It's reducing the chance of heart attack, diabetes, high cholesterol. Let's not make it seem like you gotta work out to get to work out with me. You don't gotta do all of that. I'm going to be a one size fits all that helps you get exactly what you need so you can stay consistent. Accelerate where you want to go. If you somebody that's already in great shape, what we going to do? We going to start manipulating the system. If you telling me we want good arms, you want a low body fat percentage, and you've been training arms, I'm going to tell you right now, I know what exercises we need to do too. I'm not going to play that. You just need to be in a certain standings in order to start doing a lot of this tweaking. I call it tweaking. It's like modding a car. You don't want to mod a car that's already broke down. You don't want to modify a car that's already broke down. So if your body's deconditioned, technically your body's broken down. We need to condition it, get it right, give it the tune-up, make sure everything working properly, and then guess what? Now we can throw modifications on it because we at least brought it up to par. These are things that I want to teach you within the system. Do not overcomplicate fitness. I'm the one-stop shop that gets you in great shape. I've seen it all. I've done it all. I'm a former athlete. I used to play soccer. I used to play baseball. And I played basketball growing up as a hobby almost every day. So I do want us to understand that as much as I started learning in fitness, I did start developing things to be able to coach and help people get to a whole nother level. Another reason why I'm incorporating boxing more into my program. I got to work on this left like crazy. The left looking weak. Right money, but the left looking weak. I got to work on my footwork a little bit more. So these little things I already know, but the more I expose myself to the things that I don't know, the easier it is for me being able to get money. But like I said, we all got to start somewhere. Just like with me in boxing, I've been so on and off with boxing. If I just would have stayed consistent with my boxing 8 years ago, I'm telling you right now, what I'm saying right now, we wouldn't even have to worry about. And I'm saying the same thing to you. We all got to work on something. It's okay. I got to work on those things. I'm going to tighten up on my boxing. Watch me work. Watch me work. I'm about to tighten up on my nutrition for the next 30 days. Watch me work. Watch me work. You get what I'm saying? But instead of just watching me work, join the process. This is something simple that you can do on a regular basis. It starts off with the basics that I just gave you. But with that said, I'm going to tap in with you on the next live, man. We going to turn it up. Because do understand, it's October. I told you, my birthday is October the 7th. I want you to understand, I feel like I'm out of shape. So if you feel like you out of shape, I feel you. I feel like I'm completely out of shape. And I've been putting in work. I want to take my physique to a whole nother level at the age of 35. So I need to do my due diligence and show you what I'm bringing to the table. You get what I'm saying? So with that said, I'm showing you within this next 30 days what I'm going to be doing that you can join along with the program too and get great results, because I know I'm going to get great results from doing what I do. If I make these little tweaks, you can't tell me nothing within the next 30 days. And like I said, I want you to be in a process. Join me on this journey. All you got to do is click the link in the bio or message me 30 days. I'll send you the link right over. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get you right. I'm trying to get you right. All you got to do is tap in. But with that said, I'm going to catch you on the next live.